Episcopal Church and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Holy God, we give you thanks for the beauty of this new day. We give you thanks that you call us to serve the common good. We ask that you bless us in our serving this city, that self-interest would give way to the interest of all, and especially for the voiceless ones among us. This we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Vice President Manzi.
Here.
Councilmember Richardson.
Here.
Councilmember Small.
Here.
Councilmember Williams.
Here.
Councilmember Daves.
Here.
Councilmember Rich.
Here.
Councilmember Gregory.
Here.
Statement of rules.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. All right. So happy to see each and every one of you and appreciate your interest in municipal government. Our statement of rules are quite simple. We ask first that you would either turn off or silence all of your electronic devices upon entering the meeting. If you want to address the council on a particular resolution, an ordinance, appeal, a public hearing agenda item, we would have asked that you signed in prior to the meeting, and you need to clearly state your name and your address for the record. If there's an item you'd like to speak on that isn't on the council's agenda, you're asked to call the city clerk's office on the Thursday preceding the meeting that you'd like to speak and let them know specifically the item you'd like to address. That item must be pertinent and pertain to City of Mobile business. Each speaker will be allowed 5 minutes to address the council. A bell will sound to indicating the end of 4 minutes. 1 minute will remain to allow you to summarize. At the ringing of that second bell, we ask that you would conclude your remarks and move expeditiously to your seat. When addressing the council, there is to be no personal address to any individual council member. All statements are to be made to me, the chair. Will subsequently recognize any council member who wishes to respond. To maintain decorum, we ask that there be no undue applause and or public outcry during the course of this council meeting. Again, good morning and thank you.
Approval of minutes of May 22nd.
So moved.
Second.
Probably moved in second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved.
Communications from the mayor.
Well, good morning.
Good
It's
morning.
good to see everybody here this morning. Hope that you had an enjoyable and dry Memorial Day weekend. If it was dry, it's because you stayed inside. First order of business this morning, I have the opportunity to read a proclamation to our special needs athletic program. I'd ask Dr. Holloway to please approach the podium, and you feel free to bring everybody with you, or you can approach it by yourself. So y'all can all come down, whichever is your preference. Okay, the proclamation reads, whereas Special Needs Athletes Program, Inc., SNAP, is the longest and largest continuously running special needs bowling league in the city, and whereas individuals with mental illnesses have lifespans that are 50 to 20 years shorter than those of the general population, and whereas those with intellectual disabilities are sexually assaulted at a rate 7 times higher than those without disabilities, which highlights the urgent importance of recognition and compassion for these Mobilians. And whereas since its inception, SNAP has served hundreds of intellectually disabled citizens in our region, as well as those with cerebral palsy and other disabilities, with the mission to give developmentally disabled citizens the opportunity to partake in wholesome physical activity. Now, therefore, I, William S. Stimson, the 108th Mayor of the City of Mobile, do hereby recognize the bowlers of SNAP as the official special needs sports ambassadors of the City of Mobile as they participate in recreational sports throughout our region. Done at the City of Mobile this 29th day of May, 2018.
I have some comments that I want to make, okay? So this is Joe Marshall, who's our executive director. He may have a few words to say.
First of all, let me thank the mayor and the council. We've been doing this for about 8 to 12 years now. We started way back in 2004, finally got our 501c3 authorization from the IRS in 2008, and every week we meet at Skyline Lane, and these are just some of our many athletes, totaling about 80 of them altogether every Saturday morning at Skyline. And for some, it's the only outside activity they get to participate in on a weekly basis. We kind of take the summer off as a break, and with this new proclamation, what our plans are, once we acquire the funding, of course, will be to go to other cities representing Mobile and invite them back to Mobile for a bowling extravaganza or tournament of some type. It's all just in the workings right now, but that's pretty much what we do, and again, it's our pleasure and our honor. Thank you.
I have a few comments. Should I make them now, or should I wait until my name is called?
Go.
Now?
Yes, sir.
That's good.
My name is Joaquin Holloway, Jr., and for the record, it's Holloway. My address is 2206 DeCruz Court. We live in a cul-de-sac in Tolmanville, and we have 3 houses there in the cul-de-sac. I told people we'd rather be in debt than to be in doubt. And then maybe those of you who have seen me picking up trash in the neighborhood between Costa Rica Street and Andrews Street on Somerville Street. And I'm tempted to put some signs out that simply say, "Kept clean by Joaquin."
All right now.
This morning, I want to thank the members of the City Council and the Mayor for allowing me to share some information about an organization I was recently appointed to serve on as a member of the Board of Directors. The name of the organization is SNAP, which is an acronym for Special Needs Athletes Programs, a unified bowling conference. On April the 28th, there was a bowling tournament held at the Skyline Lanes on Government Boulevard, and Matt Anderson was able to attend that event. As an opener, we decided to use as a warm-up routine the tune Perm from the CD 24 Karat Magic by Bruno Mars. The lyrics state, "Put a little perm on your attitude, you gotta relax." And a line of that song includes the word snap, plus the sound of fingers snapping. Well, today I want to display to the general public for the first time our new embroidered windbreaker with our logo. I'm wearing one that's black. My wife has one that's blue. And at our banquet, there are going to be some other people who will want to buy these windbreakers. I'll have a list of names of people and things of that sort, okay? Joaquin III is wearing a T-shirt, and all of the members who bowled have on these T-shirts. Nice. There are some other members who were supposed to come this morning, but for various reasons they probably were not able to get here. And in addition, I would like to, again, you've already met our Executive Director, SNAP, Joe Marshall, and there are some other bowlers who will be wearing T-shirts at various occasions around town. Finally, I want to extend an invitation to the members of the Mobile City Council and the Mayor and his staff member, Matt Anderson, to join us for our annual bowling banquet, which will be held on June the 3rd from 2 until 5 p.m. at the Tillman's Corner Community Center on Carroll Plantation Road. We're expecting about 200 people, including various sponsors, to this catered event. So if you all can work that into your schedule, please stop by and you'll have a chance to see other members of the SNAP Bowling League. Thank you very much for your interest and support of our 301c3 organization. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Dr. Holloway. You know, yesterday, rain or shine, as everyone knows, it was Memorial Day, and you know that was the day that we are to honor and remember those men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice serving in our armed services. You know, many of those individuals began their life right here in Mobile. Now, they are the true heroes, those that put themselves always put others before the needs of themselves. I would just hope that as a community that we'll always uphold the legacy and remember their contributions to our country today and every day. Last week we had an opportunity to stand in front of the brand new Crichton Fire Station. It was an awesome facility. Just to remind you, that was the combination of the Gus Rim Station after we had closed it down and had to demolish it, and the Ashland Place Fire Station. The fire department, it's my understanding, will probably be moving in actually and occupy this week. All of this leads up to us, the fire department, having set a goal of becoming an ISO 1 city. That is, of the 45,000 or 44,000 fire departments in the United States, only 350 have an ISO 1 rating. For those that don't know what an ISO rating is, today we're currently a 3. It is a scale from 1 to 10. And so with the target of becoming a 1, we would join a very, very elite group. That process of the assessment will begin within a couple of weeks. The assessment team will come in and start checking everything that we've been doing to that quest of becoming of achieving the ISO 1 rating. So we're hopeful that we'll be able to do that. Again, thank everybody for being here, and I'm going to have to excuse myself after a few minutes. Thank you.
Adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Probably moved to second. Any discussion? If none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Agenda's adopted.
Appeals, we have requests for waiver of noise ordinance on June 2nd on Cody Road, June 30th and July 1st on Burtonwood Drive, and June 5th on Spring Hill Avenue.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Probably motion and second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Eddie Irby.
Morning.
Morning.
My name is Eddie Irby, 1116 Richard Road, 36618. And I guess I don't see him here. We're here this morning, ladies and gentlemen, to present some certificates to some of the city employees. As you know, we've been working in the Oak Lawn Cemetery 3 weeks prior to the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. And when I first went in there, after being asked to go to look at it, my classmate who owns Saucy Q Barbecue said there was 3 or 4 Buffalo Soldier buried back there. Well, I went in there after church that Sunday to check it out, and I found 57 in there. I also found a pocket full of these in there and some other stuff in there. Trash, garbage, household trash, on condoms, on soldiers' grave sites there. So I went back, I got the Patriot Guard Riders, I got the South Alabama Veterans Council, I got the U.S. Coast Guard, I've got the Marines, I've got the Navy, the Air Force, and everybody else. The JAG vets out at South Alabama came in, and we have completely turned the thing around. We went from 157 soldiers to 620.
Wow.
On 8 acres, over 22 acre lot.
And that's only half of it. We turned it around, and our #1 goal was to get other people there to come and take care of their own, because we can't take care of them. Our goal was to go in there and take care of all the veterans, and we've done that so far. We've had 2 programs out there where we had the Patriot Guard riders, the police department, and basically the trash people. These people who we were told nobody picked up the trash.
They're coming in.
These people who were told to pick up the trash, rarely, I mean, it's going every 2 weeks, but this, for some reason or other, they didn't do it. I called Mr. Bill Hawkins, went down there and sat upstairs with him, talked to him, and he said, Ed, if you get to do the same thing for my guys that you did for the police, we'll get that stuff every week. And that's what we did, because we found people were, when they go and clean the gravesite off, they'll just throw the trash out there in the road and it piles up there. And then when you put it on the street, we had got lazy boy recliners, stoves, refrigerators, chairs, you name it, back there in that parking lot, because we basically use us as a dumping area. And so we go in there every day, 10 to 12, and clean it up, and had completed turnaround. Now we got people in there. Even Miss Hazel Fournier was in there a couple of weeks ago, because she could not get to her own relative's grave back there. But now the grass has grown up, but we've made a significant difference. And we're going to cut it out now until the fall, until we get the fire department to come back. Also, we'd like to pay special thanks to the Mobile Fire Department, because the fire department came in and showed us how to set up a burn area there. So we actually had to burn some of the areas there till we get back to Mr. Schu's church. And in the fall, we'll go back and get the other. But we're here today because in February the 24th, we had a program where Mrs. Days, 99 years old, would come into that cemetery for 15 years. She could never get to her husband's grave site. When she found out we were working in there, and she came in there, Fran, my photojournalist here, escorted her back there to her husband's grave. She was this, we also brought her here for the program there on February 24th, where for the first time since her husband was killed in 1944, she received a folded U.S. flag. She had a 21-gun salute and taps played in honor of her husband. We turned right around on May 8th, which is what these guys up here did, and came back, and we wanted to do something for the flag poles. In over 139 years, with all these servicemen there, there's never been a flag raising, there's never been a flag pole, there's never been nothing to indicate that that many veterans are back there. Now, thanks to Mr. C.J. Small and a lot of other people and some of the military, there are 7 flag poles there representing every service group, as well as the American flag and the POW-MIA flag. Ms. Barbara here, Fran, we even got 6 men in there, was it 6 or 7, that was killed in Vietnam. We had that poster set up that we still have that poster there. And we're going back on June 14th for Flag Day to have a small plaque put in front of this flag poles there for the people who donated. But right now, what I want to do, this picture I want to show you, and we're going to have this gentleman here. This gentleman was decorated by General George Patton in 1944. That's Mr. Billy McFadden. He's a resident of Pritchard. But right now, what we like to do, and you have each one of you should have a program. This is the program that the Mobile City Garbage and Trash and the guys who drive the street sweepers and everything else came and cleaned that place up. I mean, you could almost have dinner on the street out there, which had never happened before. But this was a program, and we'll have another program like that on May 15th for the flag raising. But right now, we have, it's Mr. Beckham here. Gregory P. Beckham? Oh, okay. Well, we've got a, the certificate of appreciation says, certificate of appreciation hereby granted to the person's name here, Mobile Public Works Department, on Operation Overload, dated 8 May 2018. We also have another one here for 3 policemen, because when you come in Cemetery Lane, or you come down Euclid Lane, people come down there doing 80 miles an hour in a 25-mile speed zone. But those guys sat right there. In fact, the first policeman came in there 30 minutes before the program started, wanted to know what we wanted to do. We said we just wanted to keep the speeders out of the way because, you know, it's a bad area as it is, but we don't want to circumvent. People who wanted to go into the apartment complex could come down Cemetery Lane. And so the policemen sit there before, during, and after till everybody left. So we wanted to give them, if they're not here, we want to be able to give it to the chief here. He's 3 of them there. We did the same thing for Black History Month. Sadly, we did not get any news coverage on each event. Maybe next time on June 14th, when we have the flag podium put there, we'll have something, because we've already been notified by national news media. Because of the internet now, everybody in the country knows what we're doing. And I really would appreciate the city stepping up too. We've done everything humanly possible to keep the place clean. There needs to be a little bit more police patrols in the area, because there's some bad people in that. In fact, that's the same area 2 blocks from where Officer Biller lost his life. But
Mr. Irby, go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
Angela Pompeo can stand in for Greg Beckham to receive an award for the Public Works crew.
Okay.
And Mr. Irby,
yes, sir.
How many awards do you have?
We have 23 awards for every man and woman who worked in the trash department, who kept us clean up. And we have 3 awards for the 3 policemen that stood guard over while we had our program.
Mr. Irby, I'm going to ask if you could, pardon me? Right. If you could read one award.
Okay.
Read one award in its entirety.
Okay.
And then call the names, and so that we could move forward, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Your time is up.
Okay, she's setting it for Greg Beckham.
Come on down, and she does such a wonderful job. Thank you.
Okay.
All of you. Thank all of you from Public Works. We really do appreciate what you do.
Well, I guess yeah. On behalf of the 92nd Division Buffalo Soldiers of World War II, we want to give this certificate of appreciation to Gregory P. Beckham, Senior Director, City of Mobile Public Works Department, during our program of Operation Overload. We'd like to thank each and every one of those guys for coming there, showing up, taking their trash out, staying around, seeing us. They were really, they went above and beyond the call of duty. And we really appreciate it, because we had people that just didn't want to do what they're supposed to do. But we've got a whole bulk of them. He's got a box full of them. That's Mr. Beckham, because he's the supervisor. But we got a box.
Well, if the Public Works individuals, would y'all come on down real quick? Let's get a picture with you all and Mr. Irby.
Thank you.
Again, thank all of you. Oaklawn Cemetery is in my district. It isn't a city-owned property, and so it's going to take continued efforts from nonprofits like the Buffalo Soldiers and any other soldier that want to go out and help keep it looking good. Thank you. I appreciate it. As the representative for that district, I appreciate what you do. Keep it up. All right. You didn't want to be in the picture. Come on, we're leaving somebody out. Aren't you with the Public Works, sir? Come on, did you help clean up? Come on down and get in the picture. Did you help clean up, ma'am? Come on down and get in the picture. Let's see, we're going to need you to continue to help them clean up. Come on down. Give them another big round of applause. Hold 1 second. 1 second.
We got one more coming.
We got one more. I don't want one person who lifted a finger to be left out. I know my neighbors are so appreciative.
Oh,
got another one. Come on.
Perfect timing.
Hurry up. Come on in. We're going to take a picture. Right on time. Come on, ma'am. Come on. Because, see, we want to let you know that the city is appreciative of all that you do, and that all that you will continue to do, hopefully.
Keep busy, we get some help out there.
Oh, and you're going to get some more help when we put this out on our newsletters. We're going to get you some help. Oh, yeah. Swing a little, Mr. Herbie, let her in the picture.
While we're taking the pictures, Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I would just tell you that if we started listening to accomplishments of Eddie Irby in our city, we would run out of paper this morning. It is amazing what he and his organization has accomplished in a very short time.
That's right.
It was my pleasure to be there. Most folks wouldn't recognize those lots now. And well, I agree with you that we are asking for anyone who is willing and able to make time. But it's a great opportunity for Boy Scouts, for anybody needing public service hours, any school that wants to do something. Mr. Irby can help them to find a place where they can dedicate a spot that they can maintain.
That's great.
Yeah, again, thank you very much, Vice President Manza and City Council members, Mr. Small, and you know, Mr. Williams was one of our speakers there. So he was one of those guys that, since he's retired military, he did not have to have a microphone when he spoke there to welcome the people.
I'm not surprised.
All right.
And Miss,
and I've got 3 of them I need to give to the chief. His policeman
He's
is
right
not
here.
here.
He's right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Ms. Steinfeld, if you could, the photo that you just captured, would you make certain that all of those photos are in our newsletters? And if you could also disseminate that to the mayor's office so that his media machine can get it out as well. And let them know in your write-up that they're seeking volunteers and that they can contact Mr. Eddie Irby at 251-591-3057. And his email is irbyeddie55@yahoo.com. Contact him directly. Any person's willing to volunteer. We want you to keep up the good work, Mr.
Yes,
Eddie.
sir.
All right.
Even the neighborhood has gotten to the place now where everybody else is keeping their yard up. So it's significant different, and it's strictly because of the trash people who come in there and made the place good enough to eat off the.
Sound like a winner. God bless you.
All right.
Thank you all.
John Goss.
Thank you. My name is John Goss. I'm the chairman of the Law Enforcement Awards Committee for the General Bernardo Galvez chapter of the Alabama Society Sons of the American Revolution. The SARs were formed in 1889 to be a historical, educational, and patriotic organization. However, we are not a political organization or a secret society, but one of our main functions is to give awards to outstanding law enforcement personnel who turn in outstanding performance. Officer Justin Villa began his career with the Mobile Police Department in October of 2015, and he turned in such impressive performance that, Chief Batiste, did you do that? Did you name him Officer of the Month in 2016?
The committee did, not me, but the person that our committee did.
Okay. So anyway, but in just 9 months, he was Officer of the Month, and he continued his highly professional performance right up to the end of his life on February 20th this year. So it's only fitting that we award him our standard medal. And so at this point, I'll ask Chief Villa and Chief Batiste and Mrs. Villa to come here. Now, The Law Enforcement Commendation Medal is the highest award that the SARs can give any law enforcement officer in the performance of their duties. And so, at this point, I'd like to give you this medal. And anytime we award the medal, we also prepare a certificate from the National Society with the recipient's full name printed on it, Justin Taylor Billop. And so at this point, I'm going to give you that. And now, can I take a picture?
We can maybe get a picture too. Yeah.
It's called the Red Gully.
I don't go back too far now. Okay.
Yeah, Cox can take one.
All right.
And this concludes my program.
All right.
Ordinance is held over. 64013, rezone property on the south side of Cooman Road from R1 to B1.
Second.
Properly motion and second, any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
CIP resolutions held over. Are there any objections to any of these?
No.
I'll just read them all out together.
That'll be fine.
21333, authorized contract with CNH Construction Services for 2018 citywide guardrail repair. 21334, authorized contract with H.O. Weaver and Sons for 2018 citywide resurfacing. 21336, authorized contract amendment with McCord and Williams for engineering services McGregor Avenue sidewalks. 21337, authorized contract with Hutchinson, Moore and Roush for 2018 miscellaneous sidewalks.
So moved.
Second?
Been properly moved and second, any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Items passed.
Resolutions held over. There are no objections to these. I'll read these out together also. 21338, authorized contract with Youngblood Barrett Construction and Engineering for Arthur R. Outlaw Convention Center dishwasher replacement. And 25339, accept fee simple warranty deeds, right of entry, and temporary construction easements needed for Ziegler Boulevard, adding lanes from Schillinger Road to Cody Road project.
So moved.
Properly motion and second, any discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Items passed.
46340, dedicate West Side Park as a city park to be forever held and reserved for public use.
Move to table.
Been properly motion and second, any discussion?
Yes, thank you very much.
Mrs. Rich?
I appreciate the council's support of tabling this initiative. It's something that has a lot of complex moving parts to it. I'm still very dedicated to seeing park property eventually becoming preserved for the future, and also planning documents being drawn up so that this section of land that is owned by the city is indeed protected from any other use. So you'll see this again, but we'll work towards a resolve that is amenable to everybody involved. And I look forward to working with Commissioner Carl on this initiative, and also the association, the West Side Park Association, which is very active on the baseball, youth baseball entity that's been out there for numerous years. So again, I thank the council for tabling this at this point.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item is tabled.
Consent resolutions being introduced, 03341 through 58343.
Motion to suspend the rules for immediate consideration of resolution 03341, 42, and 43.
Second.
Properly motion and second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
03341, appoint Thomas Zogby to the Water and Sewer Board of Commissioners, 37342. Recommend approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a lounge retail liquor Class 1 license for West End Watering Hole on Old Shell Road, Suite D, and 58343, authorize removal of weeds, Group 1579.
So moved.
Second.
Properly motion and second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Items passed.
CIP resolutions being introduced, 13344 through 21348.
Motion to suspend the rules for immediate consideration of resolution 13344 and 345 and 348 will lay over for 1 week.
Second.
Properly motion and second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
13344, authorized change order for the contract with J. Hunt Enterprises, general contractors for Heroes Park site drainage and field conditions improvements.
Second.
Properly motion and second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item passes.
Resolutions being introduced for the first time, 01346 through 01347.
These resolutions will lay over for 1 week by council rules.
And on item 01347, I'm assigning that particular agenda item to an ad hoc public transportation committee to consist of Joel Davis, chair, Councilman Fred Richardson, and myself. And I believe that the chairman will have a date and a time for that committee meeting during his announcements.
Call for public hearings, 41349, call for public hearing to rezone property at 2720 Government Boulevard, northwest corner of Government Boulevard and Fairway Drive from B2 to B3, scheduled June 26th.
So moved.
Second.
Properly motion and second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is called.
Announcements.
Mr. Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. As the Vice President has indicated, there will be a meeting of the Ad Hoc Committee on Public Transportation in order to look at this particular agenda item, 01347, Authorized Management Services Agreement with First Transit, Inc. for operation and management of the Wave Transit. That meeting will be a week from today at 2:00 p.m. in the council conference room, and Mr. Woods and Mr. Wesh, I would hope that the responsible people from the administration could be at that meeting.
In addition, a representative from First Transit will be present.
Okay. Thank you very much. That concludes my announcements.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes, thank you. I just hope everyone had a safe and pleasant Memorial Weekend. I know we heard a lot about a storm, which fortunately did not come into our shores, and I know that a lot of city employees worked overtime to prepare, and I thank them for their service, and that's in all levels of and all departments. I guess it was a good practice run, and we were able to avoid it this time, so we'll hopefully keep up that whole kind of space into the future of our starting our hurricane season. And also, I know that the Pops concert was due to be played at Medal of Honor for Memorial Weekend on Saturday, and they did cancel. And people have asked if there's been any rescheduling of that date, and I've not heard, but as soon as I do, I'll get out the word. And I'm sure they will too, because that was sorely missed. And that's it. Thank you.
Mrs. Gregory?
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I want to thank Matt Waltman, along with other members of the Mobile Firefighters Local Union, IAFF, for all the work that they are doing over in my district. Matt has already cut the grass on the roundabout and the right-of-way in front of Station 18. And other members and even family members will be working on power washing and painting pavilions and restrooms at Langen Park coming up this week and next week. I'm really looking forward to that and putting some tender loving care on that park prior to some of the other really big projects that will be coming up soon. So again, a big thank you for all the work that they are doing over by Station 18 and as well as at Langham Park. And also a reminder for everybody, this Thursday we begin Market in the Park at Lovretta Park over on Old Shell Road. This is a place to get all of your fresh fruits and vegetables, some arts and crafts, flowers, all during the summer season. So come on, it will last every Thursday from 3 until 6 until the end of July. That's again Lovretta Park on Old Shell Road. So come on out and enjoy. Thank you.
Mr. Small?
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Last week I had an opportunity to visit 2 schools within the district. Last Wednesday I was the guest speaker for the advancement, aka graduation for the 8th graders at the Pillars Middle School. Congratulations to all the 8th graders for advancing to the 9th grade. Looking for them, most of them, to go to BC Rain on next year. Also on Friday, I had the opportunity to present a proclamation to Mrs. June Stanford. She had retired from the Maryville Elementary School. The staff invited me over for a retirement lunch. It was well attended, and I'd like to thank the staff, and also I'd like to thank Ms. June Stanford for the many years that she invested, not just at Maryville Elementary School, but for the community at large. On this coming Monday, June the 4th, myself, the fire department, also the police department, we will be hosting a recruitment for the citizens, not just for District 3, but for Mobile. This recruitment is recruiting individuals for the police department and also for the fire department. For more information, please come to Revelation Baptist Church, which is located in the Maysville community at 1711 Taylor Lane at 6:00 p.m. on next Monday, June the 4th, inviting all the citizens throughout Mobile to please come and learn more about a career in the Mobile and Mobile Police and Fire Department. Again, this will be next Monday, June the 4th, at the Revelation Baptist Church at 6:00 p.m. And thank you, Mr. Vice President.
Mr. Richardson?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President. I'm going to start off with what I believe is going to be some good news. I got the word that if all goes well, the contractors will start installing the light poles at the basketball court at Hernan Sage Park. Seems like the wait won't be that much longer for us to have lighting at night at the basketball court. But if all goes well, they ought to start. They were waiting on all of the equipment, so they didn't want to go up there, putting some up and then have to wait. They wanted to wait until everything was in hand. They have it, and they are going to start today. Mayor Simpson announced about the Crichton Fire Station opening. I just want you to know that I was there. It was a grand event. There will be a meeting place in there, meeting space in there for the citizens in the Crichton area to hold their meetings, and it's a first-class station. From what I heard, it is the most equipped station in the city. There's no station with more equipment than the Crichton Fire Station. You know, it was years that we didn't have a fire station. Our fire station was sick. They had to tear it down, and then they sold the property that it was on. But Mayor Stimson and Public Safety Department found a lot, built this brand new state-of-the-art fire station, equipped it, and the Bible talks about the last shall be first. We are first. We're going to be first in response time. We're going to be first in whatever category you want to go in. We will last for a long time. We are not last now. We are first, and I'm very proud of it. And the people in the Crichton, Midtown, Tobinville area, they are proud too, because it's easy access from that fire station location to all of those communities. In fact, on June the 11th, the Crichton CAG group will be holding their first Their meeting, first meeting in that fire station will be held on June 11th for the Crichton CAG group. The Tobinville CAG group will be meeting on June 6th. They will meet. That meeting will be at the Tobinville Library starting at 6 p.m. The Police Citizens Committee will hold a public meeting at the Dot Center. That meeting will be held at 6 o'clock, June 21st. June 21st? Yeah, it's going to be on June 21st at 6 o'clock at the Dutch Community Center. And it's open to the public for everybody. And they're going to be in there trying to gather input on the citizens' feeling regarding their relationship with the police. They're trying to measure the police-citizens relationship. Are we doing better? Are we, just what it is. So they're coming to Trinity Gardens at the Dot Center, and that we're going to ask all our citizens. It doesn't matter what community you're in. If you want to come out and voice your opinion or listen to what they have to say, it will be a great opportunity for you to do so. Thank you.
Mr. Williams.
Thank you very much. This past weekend through August 26th, there's a new exhibit at the Museum of History here in Mobile, downtown Mobile. It's the Ice Age Imperials. It has been traveling around the country, and it is going to take us back 20,000 years to a time when this world was very different. I think it is it's a low-cost entertainment opportunity for kids that are out of school, $5 for kids over 5 and free for kids under 5 to go into this exhibit. I think it is going to prove itself to be a worthwhile venue here in the city. Also this week we're going to have Troy University in town. Troy University is doing a tour of the state, talking to prospects, academic prospects, with their admissions department. And so all the Trojans in town are invited to come out to Cafe Del Rio on the Causeway and share that. If there's, simply have to go to Troy's website to find the details of that visit. I'm kind of glad the city didn't take me up on a challenge a couple of weeks ago when I said that, we fine folks for putting their trash out too early or putting it out in too big amounts or putting the wrong stuff out. And right now across the city, it is not singling out any community. Right now we have trash all over the city at curbside. And I won't go on to what I think is the problem. Is simply there is a problem with right now with retrieving all that trash from our curbsides. I'm often told, and I was a couple of times last week, that this wouldn't happen if it was in your neighborhood. And I just welcome people to come on by 3905 St. Andrews Loop West and see the pile of trash that's in my yard that's been there for a week. The mayor and the Public Works leadership are aware of the issue. It is being worked, and there is nothing that the city council has been asked to do or is legally able to do that is going to improve this situation. I simply tell the city of Mobile that we are aware, the mayor's aware, this issue is being addressed, and we can't direct anything from this from our positions in these 7 council district seats. We want this problem fixed, and we welcome any resolution before us, even if we have to call a special meeting to address this issue that is piling up. Thank you.
I want to first start out by recognizing Mr. Christian Williams, a student at McGill-Tulane. He is shadowing Ms. Stimson today. pardon me, my fault, he's shadowing our city attorney, Mr. Ricardo Woods, today. And I believe he's a former, the last, was it with the Pritchard Mardi Gras Association? Smart young man, an athlete, scholar. I say all that because I feel like I've watched him grow up. His grandmother, Miss Nora Lee Taylor Williams, is a proud member of the St. Joseph Missionary Baptist Church of Whistler, and I'm happy that he's here today, and we wish you all the best as you travel on to the University of Alabama in Huntsville. Keep up the good work. Let's give him a big round of applause. By way of announcements, we're planning, along with Ms. Marion Steinfels, some dedications of the new playground at Harmon Thomas Recreational Center, and also the new basketball court at Rickaby Park, in addition to a total renovation of that community center. That's just the tip of the iceberg from Spring Hill to James Seals to the Plateau community. We have millions of dollars of your city tax dollars being expended to upgrade the recreational amenities at all 7 of our community centers and at all of our parks in District 2. And we will be enlightening the residents as we have our community meetings to those particular dates and times, because we definitely want continued citizen input and continued citizen support as we transform our parks and recreational amenities in our district. In the Oakley Garden District, there's a home owned by a gentleman named Mr. Sonny. And Mr. Sonny has turned his home into a quasi-apartment facility for vagrants and for vandals. The citizens in the Oakley District daily tag me, call me, email me relative to Mr. Sonny's property. It appears that all of his mental acuity is not there. And so I want to ask Mr. Wesh and Attorney Woods, on behalf of Mayor Stimson and, of course, our police chief, if some special attention, I'll forward that address to you all, if some special attention could be placed on that particular property. They are vandalizing the homes. These individuals are going up in the middle of the night, checking cars to see what they can do to rob hardworking citizens in the Oakley Garden District. I want the citizens in Oakley to know that I don't stand for it. I'm not committed to it, but I have absolutely no authority outside of being your advocate to let the proper authorities know, and I'm sure that they are aware, but I want to put emphasis on it today, that this is a grave problem. It's a persistent, plaguing problem in the Oakley Garden District, and I would ask that any and all extra attention that could be assigned to that area until the problem is mitigated, it would certainly be appreciated.
Mr. Vice President, we take that seriously. Please do send it on.
Thank you. I will. Any further comments from the council, from the administration? Do I hear a motion?
Second.
Probably moved and seconded. We would adjourn. All those in favor, let me know by the sign.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.